Weddings-ish, 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 with Jove.
This episode is brought to you by Kwiat, diamonds that look bigger, brighter, and more beautiful at kwiat.com. Well, hello, and thank you so much for tuning in to Weddings-ish with Jove, a podcast all about love, joy, and weddings-ish with a special guest each episode. I couldn't be more excited to have in studio the one, the only fashion designer and TV personality, Pnina Tornai.
Thank you, my
Pnina.
love.
Yes, I'm so happy you're here.
I'm so happy to be here.
I haven't seen you since pre-COVID times, I think.
Yeah, we had a live on
Kleinfeld.
Yeah, during COVID.
Yes, it was super fun where couples came in and we did a little live Q&A between the two of us.
Remember?
It was so much fun. We should do that again.
Yes, we should. And then the world shut down.
Yeah, that was wild.
It was.
But on to happier things.
Of course.
I want to start with the origin of your name. It is such a beautiful name, Pnina.
Thank you.
What does it mean and where is it from? Is it Hebrew?
It's Hebrew.
It's Hebrew.
It means pearl in Hebrew.
Oh, pearl.
Yes. But
Like the necklace you're wearing.
Yeah, like my necklace. And like my new collection for Jared. I
Oh,
have
okay.
a new collection
Of pearls.
of pearls. And it's called Perla.
Okay.
Because my original name, my birth name, was Perla.
Oh.
My mother called me Perla after
Is that
her.
Spanish or that's
Yes,
also Hebrew?
Spanish.
Oh, it is Spanish.
Yes,
Okay.
my mother was Spanish.
Okay.
Spanish-Moroccan. From
Okay.
the Spanish border of Morocco.
Beautiful.
And so her grandmother's name was Perla.
Okay.
And she chose to call me Perla. But then the children in Israel
Couldn't pronounce.
couldn't pronounce it. And they would make
That
fun
makes
of me.
sense. Oh, no.
So they had to translate it to Hebrew.
To Pnina.
Yeah, Pnina.
Amazing.
And it became a worldwide
Name.
renowned name.
Yes. So you started as Perla.
Yes,
And
Perla,
now
which is more
Pnina.
romantic. Yes.
But your collection with Jared is literally pearls called Perla after
Perla,
your
that's
name.
my newest collection. It's
That's-
Perla by Pnina Tornai, and it's all about pearls. And I'm so excited because I am obsessed with pearls.
You and me both.
You are?
I was wearing a very small pearl necklace for a
Wow.
long time.
I will send you a bracelet
I would love that.
if you love pearls, because I honestly believe that pearls have a very, very unique energy.
Tell
First
me.
of all, a pearl is created by a tear. I mean, it's a grain of sand that goes into the oyster
Yep.
and disturbs the oyster,
Yeah.
and then the oyster like creates a pearl out of it,
Yeah.
sends her pearl material.
Yeah. From
And,
the one grain of sand.
Exactly. And then
Wow.
it becomes a pearl. It becomes a piece of jewelry. So
Yeah.
imagine that, and it must be painful for the oyster.
I'm sure it's not comfortable.
Exactly. So
Wow.
I love pearls.
I love that. Well, let's
Yeah.
rewind because you have the collaboration with Jared. You have your line at Kleinfeld.
Yes.
And you're now also selling beyond Kleinfeld.
Yes.
Is
yes,
that
for
that's
the
like
first
the
time.
newest news?
The newest news.
Yeah.
The biggest news, I think,
Ever.
in the bridal industry now.
Yeah, because you used to have to go to Kleinfeld in New York
Yes,
City to
yes.
buy your pieces.
Absolutely.
But now
for
we can-
20 years. I was a
20
virgin
years.
for 20 years. Can you imagine?
Wow, you were monogamous for 20 years
Yes.
in one relationship, a great relationship, of course.
Exactly, a
But
great
now,
one.
where can people find your dresses?
So, practically everywhere in the United States,
Wow.
except for the tri-state area.
Okay, because
Which
that's
is
Kleinfeld.
It's reserved to Kleinfeld.
Which makes
It's
perfect sense.
Absolutely. Kleinfeld is like, it's like a Catholic wedding for me, like,
Tell me more.
It's forever. And
Yes, you're
it's been
committed.
20 years now
Yeah.
that we're together, like a real couple.
It's a
you know?
family.
We
Yeah.
fight like a couple. We make peace like a couple.
Yeah.
That's the beauty about this relationship.
Yeah.
And so the couture, my couture collection is exclusive to Kleinfeld.
Okay, so
in the
that's
whole
the
United
differentiation.
States.
Couture
Absolutely.
is only Kleinfeld.
Only Kleinfeld.
Okay.
But my love collection is now available everywhere.
Everywhere.
else.
This is
Yeah.
very, very exciting.
I'm so excited. I can't even tell you. It's like the greatest adventure
Of course.
for me because I am so Wednesday and Thursday, it's the bridal show.
Yep.
And so I will be at the Lotte Hotel.
Yep.
And all the stores from the United States are coming to see me.
Oh
and I
my
feel like a
gosh,
bride.
yes.
I really do.
Because now they can buy you.
Absolutely.
And they couldn't before. It was like, we love her, but we
Yeah.
can't have her.
Exactly.
Oh
And
my
everybody was
gosh.
like I always got those emails and people, stores were reaching out. Can we please have your dresses?
Of course.
And I would always say, no, I'm sorry, I'm exclusive to Kleinfeld. Now I can say yes.
Now you can say I'm exclusive to Kleinfeld-ish.
Ish.
We love the ish.
We definitely do.
But your life didn't start in fashion, which I think is so fascinating. You were born in Israel.
Yes.
And served in the military.
Yes, I did.
And that's everyone in Israel, right? Male, female, doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's a mandatory.
And for 2 or 3 years, what's
2 for women, 3 for men.
2 for women, 3 for men. And you started life not in the fashion world, but you wanted to be an actrice.
Absolument.
En français. En Paris.
Oui, mon amour.
So tell me what happened? Born in Israel, and then how did you decide acting was a passion or something you loved?
I was born in Israel. And then I joined my parents. My father was a diplomat.
Okay.
And they were serving in Paris at the Israeli embassy.
Got it.
And I finished my army service and I joined them.
Got it. So they were already there.
They
so you
were
had
there.
A safe place to land.
Absolutely. And French, that's my mother's tongue.
So your second tongue.
French and Spanish are together
and Hebrew.
My mother's tongue. And then Hebrew came third.
Oh my gosh. So 4 languages.
And English came fourth.
Oh my gosh.
And then a little bit of Italian here and there. Understand Persian, speak Russian a little bit because all my seamstresses are Russian.
Yes.
So,
such
and I
a
love
worldly
languages.
woman. I love it.
I like to consider myself international, and I pray for the world one day to understand. And I was saying this during COVID, and I'm still saying it today, that we're all one.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
We're all people.
If people would just understand that we think, we feel, we act the same. It doesn't really matter where we come from, what religion, what culture, what race. We are one.
We all want the same thing.
Exactly. And my collection for Jared, so my engagement rings and wedding bands, and of course my men's rings and everything. The name of this collection is One. And I'll never forget when Jared was, debating with me how to call my first collection. They said, what name would you like to give your collection? And I said, I want to give it the name One. And they said to me, but one, we're talking about a couple.
Yeah,
we're
2.
talking about 2.
Yeah.
And I said, well, that's exactly it. Because when 2 commit to love, they become one.
Yeah.
In this world and in the upper world.
Yeah.
When you commit to the love of your life, you become one soul in the upper world.
Yeah.
And I wish the world would just understand that not only as a couple we become one, but the whole humanity should be one.
Yeah, I agree.
It will be such a better place to live in.
Yeah, 100%. And love is at the core of all of it.
All of it.
We all want to be happy. We all want to have and give love.
Absolutely.
So in that way, we are the same, for sure.
Absolutely. And sometimes I feel like, I'm a romantic soul and I can't help it.
Yeah.
I see everything in the colors of love.
Yeah.
And I believe in love. I think that, this world was created by love, and without love, we're nothing.
Yeah.
On the contrary, all we do when we don't let love enter our hearts is destroy everything around us, but destroy ourselves.
Yeah. No, 100%. Love is the essence.
Absolutely.
And it makes perfect sense in the world that we live in, that we work, and that our careers, that love is the core.
Absolutely.
I think sometimes with large-scale weddings or any wedding planning, people get a little out of control or they lose focus and they forget that at the end of the day, no matter how much money you spend, what dress or suit or tie or ring you wear, it's about the love in the room.
It's about the love.
It's about the love.
If they could just understand it, brides they become so stressed. And I always look at them and say, you don't have to worry, because on the day of your wedding, there's this very special aura that a bride receives. And I truly believe that it's from an upper world. And they're always so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's not about the makeup. It's not about the hair. It's not even about the dress.
What?
Yes. I make sure.
Yes, that part is taken care of.
No, but I make sure, I honestly do, to put all my love in these dresses because I know that they serve my brides. And a higher purpose, of course. So, and I believe that every designer, that's their purpose.
Yeah.
But it's really about the love. as you're saying.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
And your first love wasn't fashion, it was acting.
Absolutely.
So you went to Paris, joined your family, and did you study acting, or how did?
Yes, I was accepted to the highest school of acting, which is called l'Acteur Florent.
Amazing.
But then the story becomes complicated.
Of course, tell me everything.
Then I met my first husband.
Okay.
The father of my only son.
Okay.
And he was
at the school or in Paris?
No, in Paris.
Okay.
And he was very much against me
Performing.
becoming an actress or
Got
performing. It. At the time, I wasn't the woman I am today.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, whenever I meet young women and I hear their thoughts about what to give up in life or, for someone they love, I will always say, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Choose you first.
Exactly. But I didn't know how to choose myself then.
How old are you at this point?
I'm like 20, not even 21.
Yeah. So no one, you're a baby.
No, I was a baby.
You were young.
I just, I gave up acting.
And the spell of a handsome French man
he was
can
handsome,
be very enticing.
But it was, the spell wasn't that good.
Sure, didn't last that long.
No. But anyway, when I came back to Israel, I couldn't, you can't give up acting when it's a passion, when it's something
when it's inside you.
Exactly. It's like, I would say it's an incurable disease.
Yep.
When you have it, you have it.
Yep.
So in Israel, I started auditioning, and I was chosen to play some major roles in Israeli
Is this
movies.
for film or stage or TV?
Film, series, no stage.
Okay.
Stage is another animal.
Okay.
But
she likes a camera.
Yeah, I love the camera. It's easier.
Same.
Like stage, you have to scream.
Yes, and it's live. I mean, there are no second
Exactly,
takes, third
nothing.
takes.
But it must be very exciting.
Exhilarating, I'm sure, because the applause, the energy in the room.
Absolutely.
Is probably
There's nothing that
unmatched.
can change that
For
can
sure.
replace that energy. But then, I started doing what I love to do, and I combined it with my calling. So I truly believe that a person has, a dream, and their dream is not always their calling.
Say that one more time.
So you might have a dream, and that's wonderful, and you should always pursue your dream, always, no matter what.
Yep.
But then in life, there might be a calling that has nothing to do with your dream.
Totally separate.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So, and I know today, after so many years, I've been in bridal for 30 years, believe it or not. So,
it's been 30 years.
Yeah, 30 years.
Wow.
20 years at Kleinfeld. Can you imagine?
And 10 years before that.
And 10
30
years before that, yeah.
Okay. So what was your calling and what is your dream?
So my dream was acting.
Yep.
And being in front of a camera, being able to connect with so many people at the same time.
Yep.
And my calling, I have no doubt, is working with women, especially at a very, very sensitive time in their lives, which is before their wedding, because so many things happen.
So many emotions.
Exactly. So many emotions, so many questions, so many, so much stress before a wedding, because after all, you are changing your life.
Your whole life.
Your whole life significantly.
Yep.
You're becoming two.
Yep.
Instead of being, one.
Yeah.
And so from my experience, it's always about the bride. And for some reason, brides always open up their heart to me. And they always talk to me about what really bothers them, what's on their mind, what they're going through. And I always find myself giving them the most sincere advice.
Pnina.
Mama Pnina, fairy godmother of brides.
Fairy godmother. I mean, it's true. You have an essence about you that is warmth. Like, it feels like people can just say anything and everything.
Yes.
You have an aura that is very warm.
And I really care.
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, of course, we are all business people, and we want to, we want to make money. We want to be successful. I'm being very honest with you.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like sacred. If a bride doesn't look happy, I will always stop the appointment, and I will go to the dressing room with her, and I will say, "Listen, my love, something's going on.
Yeah.
Would you like to share this with me?
Yeah.
Can I help you with anything?
In any way, yeah.
In any way." And usually that's what happens. And I've advised brides to postpone weddings,
while they're trying on your dress.
while the dress is being made.
Oh.
And the dress is almost ready.
Oh my gosh.
Brides that would come to me and I would see that they're like devastated.
Something's distressed,
Something's really,
wrong.
really wrong.
Yeah.
And they would say, Pnina, what do I do? And I would always say, let's wait. And they would say, but the dress is already. So they'll wait.
The wedding is booked.
Exactly. The wedding is booked, but
yeah,
it's your life, you know.
Period.
It's not about a party.
It's not a competition.
No.
It's not a social media game. It's your life.
No, it's your life.
Yeah.
And if for some reason you're not 100%, you know, whole with yourself, that you're doing the right thing, then don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. If you're not all in, don't run the race.
I'm married for the third time. Can you imagine? So I know a little bit about...
You know a little bit about all in or not all in.
Exactly. I'm all in.
They say third time's the charm.
Charm.
Okay.
Absolutely
You're charmed.
We say in Israel, third time you get an ice cream.
Oh, great. I love ice cream.
And that's.
Maybe don't tell my fiance. He's not going to love the third time.
So tell me about you.
This is not about me, but
of course it is. I can see a beautiful ring.
Oh, you see the ring? Yes.
Oh my God.
My fiance proposed.
Stars?
Yes, it's 9 different diamonds.
9 is a
shapes.
Wonderful number in numerology.
Oh, is it?
Yes. 9
good.
takes everything and takes it up. Like huge success.
Oh,
9,
I'll take that.
You didn't know that, and you got 9.
Yeah,
perfect.
I don't think he knew either. He just thought it was very pretty.
See, it is gorgeous.
But yeah, he proposed the day after Christmas. Totally surprised me.
No better time
with
of
our
energy.
families. And then recently, I counter proposed. So I re-proposed back to him at the Metropolitan Opera House.
Really?
Yes.
So 2 proposals.
2 proposals. I just felt like I felt so special and so loved when he proposed to me that I wanted him to feel the same.
That's so beautiful.
So I surprised him at the Metropolitan Opera House. We did a backstage tour, and then we had the whole place private. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It was 20 minutes. We were all alone.
Amazing.
And I got down on one knee, and then a photographer came out, his family, our friends. We had a beautiful dinner, and then we saw Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, this is like 100% romance.
I love romance too. I'm a rom-com lover. It's true, and so I felt so special, and I think I just wanted to reciprocate that. He kept telling me like, just get me the ring, ask me at dinner. Like he's like, I don't want a big proposal, but he's a big personality with a big heart, and he studied opera, and I was like, let me give you something big.
So beautiful.
Yeah,
I think,
it was very special.
What really matters is the thought that you put into, you know, the person, how to make the person you love happy.
Yep.
And there's nothing more beautiful. And I think people should never give that up. People should, even when you're married.
You have to remember to be thoughtful.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
because
easy to get comfortable. To settle in.
Exactly.
Got to keep it fresh.
That's a trap.
Yeah.
I think that's where, you know, once in a while we need to remember to surprise, you know.
Keep it spicy.
The person we love.
Yes.
Exactly.
100%. So you went from Israel to Paris, and then from Paris you went back to Israel. And you didn't open a bridal store, but you opened a fashion store.
Yes, I did.
Okay. And what was that named after yourself or?
So it was a Pnina Tornai.
Yep.
Boutique. But then one night I had a dream.
Okay.
So you could find, you know, beautiful ready-to-wear and cocktail and evening dresses at my boutique. But then one night I had a dream. And in that dream, I was laying on a huge lawn and I saw these dresses falling from the sky right at me. And they were wedding dresses.
Wow.
And they were ball gowns.
And you had not thought of that prior?
Yeah. Nothing at all. And I could see every little detail.
Yeah.
The embroideries, the crystals, everything, the fabrics, everything. So I woke up that morning and I understood that it wasn't a dream. It was a message.
It was a calling.
It was a calling. And I looked at the sky and I said, okay, God, I'll do whatever you ask me to do, but you need to help me because I have no idea
what I'm doing.
And I closed my boutique for a week.
Wow.
And I remember transforming the whole boutique into a bridal salon. I brought a seamstress. At the beginning, we were just a seamstress and me. Yeah. And that's how it started.
And you were sketching and they were making, or?
She was making the pattern. I was cutting the fabric.
Wow.
It was like, you know, I didn't have money to hire more
with
than
what
one
you could
person.
do, 100%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was like, I have to do it all by myself. And it became overnight a huge success.
Wow.
So the story of my career is really amazing because it's like a fairy tale.
Yeah.
It's like a Cinderella story.
Because you didn't study fashion.
Never.
You didn't go to fashion school.
Never.
You literally just was like, I love this. I'm going to do it.
Yes. I knew it was my calling.
That's
I
amazing.
just knew it was my calling.
Yeah.
It was also out of, I would say, the most difficult and challenging time of my life.
Personally, professionally, romantically.
Personally.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the worst ever.
Yeah.
And I had to find a way to earn a living,
Mm-hmm.
but I also had to find a way to, to do something so good because I was going through so much heartbreak.
Yeah, you needed some joy.
My son was taken away from me by his father. And all I wanted to do is just end my life. Because
of course, that's your son.
What is it to live for?
Without your world, your child. Yeah.
And then an inner voice told me that if I wanted my life to become better, then I have to do something for other women. And I think the best thing to do is to make them happy on their wedding day.
Make them feel beautiful.
Feel beautiful and confident.
Yeah.
Because it's a day where all eyes are on you, and some women are not the type, they haven't experienced anything like that, and it stresses them a lot.
Cameras and makeup and dresses and all the
attention.
Of course.
So
it's a lot.
And that's how it started.
Wow. So you picked yourself up from one of the hardest times in your life. I think a lot of people, when they look at someone who's successful, they assume a lot.
Yes.
It came to you. It was easy.
Exactly.
You started overnight and you were a success.
Look at her.
Exactly. But literally, I think the most beautiful lesson here is you were in one of the most difficult periods of your life. And from that, decided to rise above and bring joy to other people.
Of course.
And literally pursue your calling, as you say. And so you were in Israel making dresses, building momentum. And then you did pitch yourself to Kleinfeld at one point, right?
Yes,
how did that initially happen?
It took many years, and
because they rejected you the first time.
They did.
How dare they?
How dare they? Yes, I'm revenging.
I don't mean to bring up old feelings.
No, on the contrary, we always joke about it because even the best of the best professionals can make mistakes.
Can grow. Can make mistakes, can grow. I love that. I love it.
And so it was really crazy because, in Israel, I have dressed every family in the country. It's a small country.
Yeah.
So small, it's less than the size of New Jersey.
I didn't realize it was that small.
Yes, it's that small. We don't even have enough space to write our name on the map. We have to go to the sea for that. And all this fuss around this land, for God's sake.
Yes.
Anyway, so I needed, I've reached the roof.
The peak of where you could in Israel.
Exactly. So.
And what year is this, just for my brain?
It was 1999.
Okay, so pre-Instagram.
Yeah.
There's no internet. This
nothing.
is like
no internet,
word of mouth.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And, like I told you before, my life is really a fairy tale.
Yeah.
Whenever I need something, and thank God for that, I get the help from the universe. It appears.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it's also because the universe knows that I will always pay it back.
Yeah, you'll work hard.
Always. And whenever I'm needed to help anyone in distress, I will always do it.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the pact that
that
I've made with the universe.
I love it.
So this father of a bride comes to see me. His daughter and his wife wanted 2 very expensive dresses.
Great.
And he was bargaining me. He was saying, the dresses are too expensive.
You're in Israel.
I was out, but here too.
Everywhere. Especially with weddings. I think people think we just inflate the prices.
Exactly. It's all about bargaining now.
Yes. Well, we all love a deal. I mean,
I know.
We all love a deal.
We
Americans, anyone, you look at something and you think, is that the best price?
Exactly. But that's how
part
it
of our
should
nature.
be. Because, you work hard for your money.
Yes.
So he was trying to get a better price. And I said, sir, it is expensive because it's a lot of dress.
It's handmade, yeah.
Exactly. And it's couture.
Yeah.
So And I was always very expensive.
Yes.
I remember my mother always saying about me when I was a child, where does this child come from? She thinks she's the child of Rothschild, because I was always about the most expensive things.
You live the glamorous life out of the womb.
Exactly, exactly. So this man was like trying to get a better price. And I said, okay, what can you do for me?
Great question.
Yes.
Yeah.
He said, yes, let's barter. I said, what can you do for me? He said, what do you want? Name it. And I looked at him and I said, anything? And he said, anything. I said, I want to meet Kleinfeld Bridal in Brooklyn.
Yep, with the original store.
The original store.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and he said, okay, give me a few days. He came back after 3 days with an appointment.
Wow.
With Mara.
Yeah, with the
and
owners.
Dorothy, the buyer.
Yeah.
And there we were.
Wow.
We went to see them, but the disappointment was that
they rejected you.
They looked at the dresses and they said, well, we're never going to sell these dresses in the U.S. We're very sorry.
Were they glitzy and glamoury then as
they
are
were different.
today?
So they were, the corsets were see-through.
Okay.
Today, every corset is see-through.
Sure, but a little too sexy for Kleinfeld at the time.
It was just ahead of its time.
Sure.
It was too sexy.
Yeah.
They asked me if this was lingerie. That's how bad it was.
Wow,
They were
okay.
like, is this lingerie? And I said, no, these are wedding dresses.
Yes.
Because the Israeli bride was more, more of a daring bride.
Sure.
And so they said, thank you, but no thank you.
So he got his discount, you got your meeting.
Exactly.
I love a barter.
But it was worth nothing because they didn't want my dresses. So I went back home. I flew back home and I cried the whole way.
Of course.
Saying, this can't happen to me.
Yeah, because in your mind, this is a very large opportunity.
Absolutely.
To make it into America.
The largest.
New York City.
America, New York City.
Yes.
Kleinfeld.
Yes.
The mecca store of bridal in the world. And so I went back home and worked on another little collection, came back to Kleinfeld. I adapted the dresses more to the American bride, but still they had a twist. They had
your
a corset
DNA.
And my DNA.
Yep.
That's a beautiful word to say,
Yeah.
DNA. And so I came back and I begged them to put the dresses on the floor for at least a week. I left back home.
Just to give it a go.
Just to give it a go.
Yeah.
A month later, I received a phone call from Mara, the owner, saying that she might have a problem with my dresses. And I said to her, Mara, what problem can you have with my dresses?
They're all gone.
And she said, we sell so many, I'm not sure you can manufacture that much.
I love this.
So I remember calming her down and saying, Mara, don't worry. I can manufacture as many as you need.
Oh my
I forgot
gosh.
that America was like 360
Much
million
bigger
people.
than where you are.
Much bigger.
Yes.
I said, no, I can manufacture as many as you want. Mm-hmm. I hung up the phone and I hired every seamstress in the country.
That you could find.
Everyone worked for me. And,
that's wild. So
yeah.
you went from a small team of 2, 3, 4 to like...
Huge.
Wow.
The biggest I could, you know,
could
everyone, literally everyone. Yeah. And overnight we became Kleinfeld's #1 vendor. I became their #1 designer.
Yeah.
They're in-house designer.
Yeah, you have a studio in Kleinfeld, the only studio.
The only one.
Wow.
And so when you say Kleinfeld, it's Pnina Tornai, and Pnina Tornai is Kleinfeld.
You have such a relationship. And 20 years is a long time.
It's a very long time.
That is your longest marriage.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
No, David, now we just celebrated our 24th.
Oh,
year.
24.
So
okay.
David is a little
longer than Kleinfeld. So he's #1.
There's competition here.
Kleinfeld's #2.
Yes, Kleinfeld's #2.
But that's got to feel incredible. And for people listening, when you know what your calling is and you pursue it and you put it in the universe and you work your ass off, you work very hard.
Exactly. That's
and
what people don't see.
You stay true to yourself.
Exactly.
Good things can happen.
Exactly. When you're willing to pay the price that your dream demands and go all the way, as difficult as it may be.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's really, really difficult.
Yeah.
Especially when you fail.
Of course.
But every time you fail, you have to pick yourself up together again and say, I am continuing on my path, because at the end of it, there's a huge reward. There's always a light.
For all the work.
For all the work.
I mean, you could have given up the first time. I mean, you walked in and she said, you are not for the American bride.
No, she
and
said, definitely we're never going to sell this. Ever.
You're too risque for us. And you could have just said, whatever, and walked away and stayed in Israel.
It was a word of an expert.
Of course, like the #1 in the world.
In the world.
Turned you down.
Exactly.
And
in
you
my
said,
face.
actually, I'm going to come back.
Exactly.
I'm going to rise to the challenge.
My mother always used to say about me that when you throw me out of the door, I will always come back through the window.
You will find a way.
Thank God I'm petite.
Yes.
So I can go through the window.
That. I love that so
Yes,
much. And
yes.
then 20 years at Kleinfeld, 30 years in bridal. How do you continue to push the envelope for new designs? I mean, that is hundreds, thousands of designs that
yes.
you have created, that you've thought of. Do you
Yeah.
sketch? Do you write words? Do you dream about them? Or how do these dresses?
I dream most of them.
Okay.
I don't work like classic designers.
Okay.
It's not like, okay, now I have a collection. I have to sit and brainstorm
And make 10 dresses
exactly.
or whatever
No, never.
it is.
It's always 30 dresses, 40 dresses.
Wow.
This collection, by the way, the one I'm showing at Bridal Market, is 53 dresses. I just
53?
Jove, I couldn't stop. I just couldn't stop
53.
Thank God I had to go on the plane and my seamstress were not with me.
53?
53. Everybody was telling me, all you need is like 20 dresses.
Yes.
That's like big max.
Yes.
Some people show 10, some people show 12.
You supersize Bridal Fashion Week.
I just couldn't. I couldn't help it. Every
Wow.
day I came to work with another 2 or 3 dresses.
Wow.
And my team is such a devoted team that they will never say no to me from the love of doing what they do. And we, last dress I had to carry with me.
That's wild.
Yeah.
53 dresses.
53 dresses.
Are your dresses manufactured in Israel, in America, abroad, or is it a mix of everything at this point?
So usually most of the couture is in Israel.
Yep.
The love, all the samples, all the new dresses are in Israel. And then we have a factory in the Ukraine.
Got it.
Yes,
Beautiful.
we had to because, as many seamstresses as I could find in Israel wasn't
There's
enough.
a limited number, for sure, and the demand is so high.
Exactly.
So 53 dresses, how many that's 53 models? Or we rewear dresses?
They're going to rewear dresses.
Oh my
yes.
gosh,
yes.
53.
I'm so excited, I can't tell you.
Yeah.
Because, see, with me, there's always abundance.
Yeah.
I'm that kind of person.
Yeah.
So when I cook, if I invite 10 people, there'll be food for 50.
For 20. Oh, 50. Okay,
50.
great.
I remember doing, MasterChef VIP.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think people know your love of food and that you were on a cooking TV show.
Yes, on MasterChef VIP.
Yeah.
And every time they gave us a mission, I would bring enough groceries from the pantry
to feed
for
everybody.
2 or 3 dishes.
Sure.
And one of the judge would always come to me and say, Pnina, this is a competition of 1 dish, my love.
Yeah.
1. I see you brought a lot of stuff. I said, no, I can do 2 or 3. I said, no. 1. You have an hour and 15 minutes.
Yes, you can't do multiple dishes.
And by the way, that competition taught me a lot.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to wedding dresses,
Yeah.
I just can't stop it.
More is more for you.
It's stronger than me.
Yeah, I love that. And you have trunk shows.
Yes.
And so if someone wants to book an appointment with you versus see a dress at Kleinfeld, how does that experience work? I assume if I wanted to wear you, I'd want to meet you, but there's only one of you. You know what I mean? So how does that
There's
work
one
for
of me,
people?
but I come a lot.
Yes, I know you're here quite
I'm
a
here,
bit.
yes.
Are you at all the trunk shows? Are you at personal appointments? Or how does that work
I
for
love
people
being
who...
at all the trunk shows.
Yeah.
Because for me, my inspiration comes from my brides.
From your brides.
As I said, I never studied fashion. So my inspiration is my brides.
Yeah.
And so I love working with them one-on-one and listening to their fantasies, to what they're looking for next.
Yes.
And so I'm here every trunk show, almost every trunk show. I think I've missed 3 trunk shows in my whole 20 years of partnership with Kleinfeld. So brides can book an appointment to be at the trunk show, and I will always come and see them and talk to them. But then there's what we call the VIP appointment, which a bride can schedule an appointment and be the only one I work with.
One-on-one.
One-on-one for 3 hours.
Wow.
Or for as much as needed until she
feels good.
Feels good and finds
And is
her
that
dress.
for a couture dress?
That can be for a couture dress.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be for a love dress as well.
Oh, okay.
If she wants any changes.
Yeah.
So we can just upgrade the love dress into a couture
to make
dress
it something
and
that
then,
she wants and she's happy with.
And
I
she's
love
happy
that.
with. That's an amazing appointment because they get champagne, cheese,
3 hours is a long time.
It's a long time. We become
I was going to
family.
say you're best friends at that point. 3 hours
Yes.
is a lot of intimate moments with someone. I love that.
And it's always amazing every bride is a world.
Yeah.
And it's always amazing to get to know
their world.
Their world, these beautiful women that are about to start a new life.
Mm-hmm. And so with trunk shows, I don't know if people know or don't know, does that mean the dresses are discounted?
So there is a discount during a trunk show.
Okay.
There's a discount of 12.5%.
Okay.
Given by Kleinfeld.
Yep.
But that only happens during a trunk show.
Got it. So that's if you're on a budget or looking to find savings, a trunk show is the way to go.
And I also think that if you can meet the creator of your dress, you should.
You should.
Because it's always more special to know the person who created the dress, to ask for what the inspiration was. And if you want to adapt the dress to what you're dreaming envisioning, then the person who created the dress is there.
Yeah.
So that's super important. And also, we always bring in new dresses for trunk shows.
Oh, so some things they've never seen before.
Exactly.
And what's the price range of a Pnina from the low to the middle to the high?
Oh my God.
It's like a car. I know. You can buy a Toyota, you can buy a VW, you can buy a Range Rover.
I would say which car is the less expensive?
Toyota.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it goes from Toyota to Rolls-Royce or to Bentley or to Ferrari. So it starts at my collection starts around 2,500.
Okay.
And it goes up. I mean, the sky's the limit.
The sky's the limit.
In couture, the sky's the limit.
Of
I
course.
have brides who come in with, their dreams, and their dreams are big dreams.
Lots of bling.
Yes, lots of bling.
Tulle, lots of fabric.
Exactly, and I'm the queen of bling,
Yes, that I know. I mean, what is this bling on your finger?
Well, I'm a jeweler now.
I know, but that bling, how many carats is that?
This is a 7 carat.
7?
Yes.
And is this natural or lab?
Because
I know
natural,
you're doing, this one's natural.
Yes.
But your collection with Jared has...
I have both. I have natural, mine diamonds, and I have lab diamonds, which, by the way...
Just get a close up of that.
Yeah, well, I think I deserve it.
You bought this for yourself, or this is from your man of 24 years?
And what do you think? How do I look to you?
Well, I'm curious. I could go either way on this, but I feel like you bought it for yourself.
When he gave me his credit card, yeah.
The best kind of purchase.
Sometimes my friends ask me, so... what is this? This David bought me. This David bought me. This David bought me. And then say, what are these earrings? This David doesn't know he bought me.
But he bought them for me.
Yeah.
I love it. We have a couple of questions from some fans, if you don't mind.
Of course.
So Alana Goldberg said, she has 2 questions. How do you know a dress is the one? And her second question is, what makes a gown fresh and what makes it dated? Yeah, so first question, how do you know it's the one?
Let's answer the first question. So I don't think you know that it's the one. It's your heart that knows it's the one.
Okay.
So when you feel that feeling, it's like your heart starts opening up.
Yeah.
And you feel happy. You feel that you love what you're seeing in the mirror. You love yourself in this dress. Yeah. You should take a moment and you should ask yourself, okay, why am I going through this?
Yeah.
Because sometimes brides are so focused on trying as many dresses as possible that they don't let that feeling come up and soak in and say, this is your dress.
Yeah, they're just focused on trying.
Exactly. And sometimes, we get this very often, brides that said yes to a dress and then they come back to reselect. And it's because they didn't really give that feeling the right attention that it needs.
That it needed.
So you'll know it when your heart says it to you. And it says it very, very clearly.
And if you don't get that, just keep trying them on.
Trying them on.
Different designers, different shapes.
Exactly. Because sometimes, you see, social media is great. But sometimes it's very confusing.
Yes.
And it brings us to a point where we're never satisfied from anything. And so you see other women wearing certain dresses and you say, wow, I want to look like this.
Yes.
But I look different.
100%.
I'm
not
like
6'3".
No.
And 120 pounds. Yeah.
Exactly. And I might look much better in something else.
In a different style.
Or fall in love with myself in a different style or shape. So just let yourself try on whatever, dresses or silhouettes that you never thought you would. Yeah.
I mean, you're in the room, you might as well have fun and experiment with what it is you want to try on.
Try on a variety of different shapes because going for one thing, you might end up finding a dress, but you could have found something you would
even
look
better,
even
that
better.
you'd light up even more.
Exactly. Brides that come for fitted dresses,
Yeah.
all of a sudden they're in a ball gown and they're like falling in love with
Yeah.
themselves.
I love that.
Yeah.
And then her second question is, what makes a gown fresh and what makes it dated?
So I don't understand this question. Fresh and dated.
So I guess like cool or uncool or new versus old, maybe.
Okay.
Like what makes it something. I feel like maybe in the world of bridal, there's trends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like lace was really big and then being really clean and minimal and then really blingy and then long, short, like trendy versus untrendy maybe.
So I believe that there are no trends in bridal, that everything is trendy.
Yeah.
It really depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
I bring back some iconic dresses from 10, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And I bring them back to my collections.
Yep.
And they do as well, if not better, as they did in the past.
Yeah.
Which means that nothing really gets old in bridal.
Because what's old is new.
Exactly.
What's new is old.
You look at Grace Kelly's dress.
Yeah.
I have a lot of dresses that are in that vibe.
Inspired in that.
Inspired by, I love her. I think she was one of the most beautiful princesses in the world. And it's still, doing crazy.
Yeah,
you
it's
see
a
a
popular
bride.
dress.
Exactly. And I say to the bride, you look like Grace Kelly.
Yeah.
And it's a huge
What a compliment. Of course.
Yes.
I mean, you would feel so stunning.
Absolutely.
I love that.
I don't think that bridal wedding dresses get old.
Yeah.
It all depends on how you feel in them.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's about your feeling.
Yeah, it's about your feeling.
I love that. We have one more from Maria 007.
007.
Yes. How far will she go on customizing gowns in her line? So not couture, but your line, like how far will the customizations go?
So it really
Before
depends.
it becomes couture, I guess.
So so the couture is I'll go as far as you take me.
Yes, as far as you like.
Take me.
Yes.
wherever you go, I go.
I love it.
That's the couture. With love, it's a little more complicated because I need to stay at a certain price point.
Sure.
And so changes are limited unless a bride wants to upgrade her love dress to a couture dress.
Sure.
And then we can go
as far as they want to go.
As far as they want to go.
So is that like maybe a hem or a sleeve or like?
So we can raise a neckline, we can open a cup, we can line a dress, we can add sleeves sometimes depending on the pattern and the silhouette. We can add beading.
Yeah.
I mean, I will.
You can add beading or bling? What? No way.
So I will always do everything in my power to say yes to a bride and to make a bride happy.
Yeah.
And sometimes, even when it's impossible, I make it possible.
Yeah, you do it.
Yeah.
And that's why we love you. And that's why we love your
Thank you,
spirit.
my love.
Of course. Where can people find you online?
So they can find me on my Instagram,
Yeah.
Pnina Tornai.
Yeah.
And we're working on a new website right now to make things easier and much more fun for our brides.
I love that.
So it's coming up, I believe, next month.
Great.
And
PninaTornai.com.
PninaTornai.com, of course.
I love that.
And just DM me. I'm there. Always.
my
I read all
goodness.
my DMs.
Wow. And you have a lot of followers.
And I have a lot of followers.
That's a lot of DMs.
But I have, I have an amazing social media team.
Yes.
Because whoever will tell you that they do it themselves,
is lying.
It's lying.
Yeah.
You can't.
It's a full-time job.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's not your full-time job. You need to
I wish I could.
Design.
But I need to sleep a few hours a night. So what happens is that they when a DM comes for me or they need an answer from me, they will always send me on my WhatsApp the DMs and I will always answer my DMs because, these wonderful people, these wonderful women and men, by the way, deserve to be loved back. I receive so much love.
Yeah. And that's the fuel that pushes you through.
Absolutely.
I mean, without these people, without this love and support, the brand isn't the same.
Absolutely. When I'm having a bad day, there are two things I will do.
Yeah.
One is I will go on my Instagram, read the DMs.
Yeah.
And it's just all of a sudden I feel I'm the most beautiful person on earth.
I love that.
Everything is like,
because there's so much love coming in.
it fixes my day.
I love that.
All of a sudden I say to myself, how dare I
have a bad day?
Exactly.
Yes.
With so much love in my life. And the second thing is that I will always do something for someone else that will make them happy. No matter, I will look for a person who needs anything at that moment, and I will do that.
Yeah.
And it's magic.
Yeah.
It just turns the situation around.
All the way around.
That's my trick. That's what I do when I'm having a bad day.
I love these two tricks.
Because believe it or not,
we all have bad days.
We all have bad days.
And we all start from nothing. And if we work really hard, we can build
exactly, my
our
love.
dreams.
And I'm so proud of you. Look at you. I remember when I met you. What, it was 3 years ago?
Yes. 3 or 4, I think
and
so.
And look at you, engaged to the love of your life,
Who
wearing 9 diamonds on your finger. You were looking at mine.
I was.
But yours is gorgeous.
I was very distracted by yours.
Well, it grows with the years.
I'll try it on after we finish.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you can always, my Jared jewelry.
Collection.
Oh
yeah, don't tempt me.
I'm obsessed.
I
and
know.
They're so amazing because every time I have an idea, just like with the dresses,
I
want more and more and more. They just, Pnina will do it. Yes, Pnina will make it.
It shines through.
And I think we started with 41 pieces. And if I'm not mistaken, I must be at like 400 pieces by now.
Wow. And men's, women's, mixed, everything.
Men's, women's, so engagement, wedding bands, men's rings.
All of it, yeah.
And then I have my fashion jewelry collection, which is amazing.
Yeah.
All the beautiful hoops and the climbers and the necklaces and everything.
Yeah.
Then I have my Perla collection.
Yep.
And I have my LCD collection, which is gorgeous. And lab-created diamonds are a gift.
Oh, that's LCD.
From God.
I love that.
LCD.
I was like, what's LCD?
Yeah, LCD. It's not a drug.
Diamonds.
I don't sell drugs.
Yes. Well, diamonds for some people
drugs. They really are.
They give you the same high.
For me, for sure. I'm obsessed. That's why I started all this.
Yeah.
It started just by, Jared reached out and said, you know what, we'll give it a try for 6 months.
See
and
how
if it
it
doesn't
goes.
work,
We gave it a try.
We'll say thank you to you and you'll go your way, we'll go our way. And I said, yes, why not? It was right at the beginning of COVID. I became their #1 designer.
Wow.
And I am so proud of it.
Yeah,
it's like,
of course.
It's as important as my wedding dress.
It's part of your DNA.
Absolutely.
I mean, from the finger to the ear to the neck to the body.
From
you are just covering people in beauty.
From saying yes to the love of your life.
Yeah.
Now she's wearing a Pnina ring. She's coming for her Pnina dress.
Yeah.
And
she's living in the Pnina universe.
Exactly.
And it's a happy place to live. Well, I'm so happy you're here. I'm grateful that you made the time.
Thank you, my love.
I can't wait to see your show and the continuation of your success and your joy and your love.
Thank you, my love. To you too.
And
lots
a reminder
of success.
to everyone, when the world says no, just keep trying.
When the world says no, it means that you're going to be so successful.
Yeah.
Keep trying.
Keep trying. Keep trying.
Yeah.
Love you.
Love
Thanks.
you too.
Weddings-ish.
You want a diamond ring that looks bigger, brighter, and more beautiful. You want it to be conflict-free and responsibly sourced. And you want it to be made just for you. Kwiat brings you Mine to Shine, the world's most personal diamond. It's the first way to choose an ethically and sustainably mined rough diamond and follow its journey step by step to create your own one-of-a-kind ring. Your Kwiat diamond will look bigger and brighter because it's perfectly cut to the world's highest standards. Whether you choose round, oval, cushion, or another shape, it will sparkle more brilliantly than all others. Because Kwiat has been the diamond expert since 1907. To learn more about Mine to Shine and Kwiat diamonds, visit kwiat.com. And now it's time for Ask Jove, where I answer your questions. Really, anything you want to know. And I couldn't be more excited to be joined in studio by my dear friend Sloan, and we are so excited to Ask Jove.
All right, Jove, today's question is from Justin from Rochester, New York.
Hi, Justin.
We're interested in hiring a social media content creator for our wedding.
Okay, this is like all the craze right now, by the way.
All the craze?
All the craze. All the kids want a content creator.
Everything's on TikTok.
All the kids and all the parents, everybody.
They want to see it. Okay, we're a little confused about how this person works with our photographer and videographer. Do we really need a third person?
Yep.
Will our photographer and videographer be annoyed that we hired a social content creator? So let's talk about that.
Let's talk about content creation. So if you're a content creator and the world is expecting to see your wedding right away, because that's what you do. Like that's what you put out in the universe. And maybe you have content around your life, or you've showed wedding planning content, and this is your career. Like we're doing a wedding right now for a content creator. That makes sense to me, that you're going to have someone there documenting all the things that the people want to see and that they want to see it quickly. If you are doing this for yourself to share in your social media, you're not a content creator, also totally fine. But like, what are we doing here? And I think it's really differentiating what you're going to get from the videographer and the content creator. So I think we have to dissect the roles and responsibilities. Like a classic videographer is going to give you typically like a 1-minute video and then maybe a 7-minute video and sometimes like a 20-minute film. So those are the 3 things you would get from them. Of course, it varies based on packages and what you want. Usually you don't get those for 1, 2, maybe 3 months, depending on the season. So time is not on your side with a videographer, but the quality of the work, the caliber of the videography, you know, the equipment that they use is much nicer. A content creator is on their phone or your phone, and they are getting much more of like the behind the scenes things. You know, they're there when the videographer might be there, but they're getting different things. Like the content creator's probably not styling your stationery and shooting it as beautifully as the videographer is. They're getting more like your personality, those moments with your friends, the sort of like unfiltered, unedited moments. And they're going to deliver typically within 1 to 2 days. So if you cannot wait 3 months and you need it, and I get it. When I want it, I want it. And content, we want it to go live right away. Like if other people have posting about our wedding before we do, I get that conflict. So I get why people want a content creator, but I just think you have to manage the expectation of what you're actually going to get and where you're going to use it. And if it's worth the value for you. You know, if it's $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for someone to come and film on their iPhone for the day and make 1 or 2 or 3 videos that you can post the next day, and that brings you joy, and you don't want to wait 3 months for the professional video. I don't want to say content creators are not professional. Sorry, high quality. Also, iPhones are high quality. You know what I mean. I don't need any content creators coming for me. I think if that's what you want, I get it. Or if you're not having a videographer and in lieu of a videographer, you have a content creator, super great. But again, you have to clarify. Like a videographer is going to get all of your speeches, all of your vows, all of that long form video, audio you will have. A content creator typically is not going to get all of that because that's not what people want to watch. They want a 1-minute video, not a 20-minute video. So I think understanding the roles and responsibilities is first and foremost like quite important. And then having candid conversations with your team, because I think you said as 3 people, too many people.
Right.
But let's
Photo,
be
video,
real.
social.
Yeah. Photo's not 1. It's probably 2, maybe 3 people, like the lead shooter, the second shooter. And now all these girlies have like someone holding the cameras and the cases. So that's 3 people. Video is 2 or 3 people. And the content creator is probably not solo. It may be 1 or 2 people because similarly, if you're getting ready separate, you want that content happening at the same time. So you need 2 people. So now we're at 6 to 8 or 9 people. So you need to also know, like, do you love the spotlight? Like, are you ready for your close up? You know what I mean? Like, are you here for having all of that? And then you need to decide who's in charge. Who's the HBIC? Usually it's photo, and then video, and then content creator. If the content creator is sassy and spicy and wants you separately from what photo and video want, that makes sense to me. It's like a different energy. But now we need to give more time. And so then you're paying everyone for more time. Like photo videos, usually 6 hour, 8 hour, 10 hour. But if everyone needs more time, then you're paying everyone a little bit more money. And I think it's very important to put everyone on a phone call and understand how you work, what your expectations are, how much time do you want alone with me, and how are we going to work when there are 6 people surrounding me? Because what we don't need is a catfight at the wedding.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like iPhone versus camera. Like we don't need, or weird energy or negative energy. Like everyone's just trying to do their job. And I think content creation is very cool, but I think it's new. It's like new and emerging. So I think we're like
in this space for sure.
In this space for sure. I mean, people do it all the time, but in weddings, it's new and it's emerging. And I guess, yeah, what is the purpose for you? The final use case. And if that's justified and brings you joy, you should totally do it. Like, do I need a content creator at my wedding?
Is that what you want?
Well, usually I do it.
I know you do.
Like normally for all of our couples, I do it for myself. And then the couples are like, oh my gosh, send me the videos.
And it's happening the next day, y'all.
Oh, I do it like
it is
that
in
night,
the moment,
honey.
in the event.
Yes, I gotta do while it's fresh. I don't know how these video editors do it months later. Like I won't even know what I had for dinner yesterday, like let alone months ago. But I don't know. I think it's a good question because there is an immediacy that is very satisfying. Waiting 3 months is a long time. And no shade. I get it takes time. We're busy. Videographers.
Yes.
But like photographers will give you that sneak peek usually the next day. 10 photos, 15, maybe 20. But video footage.
I also feel like there's something kind of happening where some vendors are turning like a little tease.
Like a little clip. Like a social clip.
A social clip around.
So have that conversation. If your videographer offers that and it's the same or lower, maybe that's less people and you get what you want. But if you want to do like a TikTok dance or a trend, or you want to do where
that's
you
not your videographer.
That's not
They're
your
not
videographer.
doing that for you.
Correct. Like where you fall in the bed.
Right.
And then you come back up fully dressed. That's a content creator.
Or your best friend.
Or your if they're good at that. Because it's the transitions. It's like, but that also will take time. You're not going to probably get that shot on the first scene. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or like all these cool transitions are what we all want to see. Yeah. So if you want to do it, do it. Just have dialogue, open conversation, and then share with us. I can't wait to see what content is created for your wedding. Well, that's it for today. And wasn't that fun? Don't forget to send your questions. Again, any questions, send them our way to hi@jovemeyer.com and maybe I will answer them on air. If you can, send a voice memo. I love to hear your voice.
Weddings-ish.
Thank you again for listening or watching Weddings-ish with Jove. This episode is brought to you by Quiat. Diamonds that look bigger, brighter, and more beautiful at quiat.com. If you liked today's episode, please subscribe and leave a review on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. We're also super grateful to Mel Flannery for the music on the podcast. She created, produced, and designed all of the music. And don't forget, you can watch Weddings-ish with Jove on Love Stories TV, YouTube, or streaming TV channel. Visit lovestoriestv.com/live for the list of streaming apps.
Weddings-ish.